Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about credit cards, specifically my credit cards, the ones that I use for travel on a daily basis. Let's get them in the focus there. Sorry for all the tape. Okay, so I have a series of credit cards, like I think most people do. Um, some of them are old that I got ages ago. I don't really use. I keep them around because they don't cost anything, and it's always nice to have an emergency card stuck somewhere. But I do have a collection of cards that I have gotten specifically for travel related perks. That's what we're talking about today, the travel related perk cards that I've got. So let's break it down, hop in, and get started on these. Okay, let's break down these cards. We're talking about today the American Express Platinum, Chase Sapphire Preserve, American Air Executive World MasterCard, ooh, big name, Delta Reserve, and United? Okay, we're not talking about United. Um, I don't fly United. It's not that I hate the airline or anything. It just doesn't work in my travel patterns, and they're so complementary with Delta that I simply fly Delta when I can because that's my chosen airline and what I've got my perks on. So I don't fly Delta United. I keep one card, one little card. It's a cheap card. It gives me a lounge pass. Last time I tried to use it, they were cranky about me using it in the lounge. Sort of turned me off. I almost canceled the card right then and there. And it gets me a free check bag. It's not even in the same category as the rest of these cards, so I'm not comparing it in any way, shape, or form here. But let's jump into the others. I'm going to put them on a rating scale. Why? Well, we got to. It's YouTube. 3-point rating scale. Basically, we're rating them on points, perks, lounges, and style, with style being completely subjective and my personal opinion. Basic things I'm not talking about. All these cards have a really similar set of table stakes that they go into. They're all great, but they're not differentiating features of the cards. So I'm not weighing in on these at all. Basically, nobody has foreign transaction fees. They've got some sort of rental car protection. They got some sort of travel protection. Some have extended warranties. These are all great perks, don't get me wrong, but they're not differentiating factors for the card, so I'm not covering them. Let's jump in first with our first card, my newest, where is it? The American Express Executive World Master Super Master Club. Um, this is a premium card at $595 annual membership. It's premium cost, that's for sure. In like you would expect from a co-branded card, this is all about getting points for American and status on American. That's what co-branded cards are for. Basically, therefore, making money for America, for the airline they're co-branded with, and making points for you on that airline. So, 10x hotel and that's supposed to say car. 10x hotel and cars when booked through their website. Okay, not bad. 4x on American airline purchases. 5x after spending 150,000. I won't be there this year, and 1x on everything else. Obviously, this is not a walking around card. Walking around getting 1x points for American airline points, just not that exciting. This is basically about one and only one thing, which is the Admirals Club. Normally, with a card, I don't consider lounge access and the amount of points you get as being worth paying for the card. Those are gravy. You've got to pay for the card some other way. This is my random weird thought process. But lounge access, point usage, got to be gravy. You got to pay for the card some other way. I'm trying this. I broke my own rule. I'm trying this year because I wanted the lounge access. I wanted the priority boarding because they don't have anything else on American. And I've got to use American. It's a pretty good airline in the South American countries that I've been in as far as accessibility, and it's the only airline that flies to the town where my mom lives. So I gotta use it. So I thought I would get this and try it for a year. I don't see how it's going to pay for itself unless you count the Admirals Club in there, which they say is an $850 value. So this is a great perk on that. Yeah, okay, maybe. I I'll have to see if this pays off for me. The rest of these things are worthless if you're not living in the United States, which I don't, so they're not worth anything to me. We'll see if I like the Admirals Club and I keep it. we'll try it for a year at that price. Oh, and the other reason I got it is I got a big bonus, sign up bonus for this, and I've got to pay my taxes coming up, so I'll use that to get the bonus. So I'll try it for a year to get I think it's 70 or 80,000 bonus miles. That's worth it for me for a year to try that and see if I like it. But I got this only to round out the American Airlines experience. The next on the list is something that is more near and dear to me, the Delta Reserve card. You can get it in purple. You used to be able to get it in black. I don't know if you still can. I think you can get it in white now for the airline cards. It's a nice card. It's not as beefy as the American card. This is a beefy metal card. This is a metal card, but it's not super beefy. Why? Because it's made from 747 aircraft aluminum. It's not going to be heavy, but it's just cool that it's made from aircraft aluminum. For an airline card to be made from the metal, recycled metal of an ex in-service plane and give you the stats like this does, it's just beyond cool in my opinion. You got to get it just for the coolness factor. However, as far as helping with Delta status, it's also an awesome card. Um, the points earning 3x on Delta flight purchases, you can do better if you purchase them directly with the Platinum card. 1x and everything else is obviously is not a walking around card. Um, but $2,500 medallion boost right when you get the card and every year thereafter, that's halfway to silver right there. MQD boost, $1 for every $10 spent. Great if you are seeking status, that is a path to it. What I do personally is I give this card to one of my kids. They can spend it all day long and rake up Delta points for me, and then I use my American Express to rack up points otherwise. Free check bag, sure. All the co-branded cards give you a free check bag. It's a nice perk, but it's not that exciting. This is exciting, an annual companion certificate. You buy one round trip within the United States. I think that's in any cabin. You get a free companion. I'm sure they have to pay taxes and fees. So that, along with the $200 hotel credit that you can get on booking through their travel site, that is well worth it. That gets you a long way to that 650. I think it pays for it right there. And for all these cards that have like a single night, book a night and get a travel credit, book a night and get it. When I go to some city, I'll just pick the airline. I went to, I forget where, but I went to some city. I bought the airline, I got the hotel using the Delta credit. Went to another city, I got the airline using the Sapphire credit, which we'll talk about in a minute. Go to another city, you use it for the to get the American credit, and then you fill out with your added card for the rest of the hotels, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So this card is quite well worth it just on the perks alone. The This dining credit, it's cool if you eat at those restaurants. It's a select group. I don't. I might sometime. I'll see if I can find it. And I think it's broken out in half per year. As far as lounges, it's actually pretty decent. It gets you the Delta lounges, like the American Airlines. It gets the American card. This one gets the Delta lounges, but it also gets you the Centurion lounges, which is a big perk for this card. It's expensive, but I think the perks pay for it easily. And then you've got the path to basically um, Delta status, which is really good. So moving on to the workhorse of cards, the king in my opinion, of cards, the American Express Platinum. I might change that being the king if I ever qualified for a black, but that's never going to happen. So my price range, it's a king of cards. It's a pricey card though. Geez, $695. But there are so many crazy perks on this card. You could easily pay for this card with a little due diligence with all the perks. I'm not going to go into it. I have a whole other video that goes into all the perks of this card, but you can wipe that $695 away in perks alone. That leaves you the lounge access, which is the best out there. American Express Lounge is the whole chain. I think you even get a one-time pass into a Chase Sapphire lounge with this card. The Escape lounges, the Priority Pass lounges, and the Delta lounges if you're flying on Delta. And there's some other airlines that you can sneak in if you're flying on that airline. This is the king of lounges. It's a king of crazy perks. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Obviously, my opinion. The points, 5x membership rewards points if you book hotels directly or book through their travel site. So the I use it for that. I use it day to day for everything other than dining. Anytime I'm booking a hotel or an airline directly, I use this card, and I always book directly through this to the hotel and airline sites. The exception, what I mentioned earlier, is for those for the Delta Reserve, for the cards that have these little one-off, book get one time travel waiver. I'll book a hotel for some city on those, but everything else I book on this and right through the points. And this is my primary workhorse for points. And I love this card. It's great. Chase Sapphire is a newer card for me. It's been working well for me. I had to go for that huge sign-on bonus, and for only $95, oh my God, it's worth it. Um, you get 5x points if you're booking through Chase Travel. I only booked through Chase Travel once to get this $200, or sorry, get this $50 hotel credit. The reason I have this card is simply for its 3x dining. The American Express Gold Card used to get that for me. It doesn't work too well outside the US, at least not in South America. So I did a video on that too. But I use it for this. When I go out to eat, I use this card. Everything else I use American Express card on my day-to-day use. Those are my go-to daily cards, and they rack up points for me. These are my points workhorse, with probably the American Express card edging it out. And I like these cards for collecting points because I could transfer them to other places. The Delta Reserve card is great for getting status on Delta, but the points only work on Delta. The American card only works on American, obviously. These points I can transfer to different airlines, and I have, and I like that feature. Because I often fly Delta, the American Express card makes a really good source for that. I can transfer it to other places, but since I frequently fly Delta, I can book them to Delta, and I don't need to do Delta only miles on the Delta Reserve. So Chase Sapphire is my go-to for dining out. Oh, so before we can actually get into weighting the true style of these cards, we need to weight these cards. So let's go get the weight of all these cards. Now for the weight test. First up, our Delta SkyMiles Reserve, coming in at 12 grams. Not bad. Okay, moving on to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Solid card, coming in at, also 12 grams. Close contender. Now next, our Citi AAdvantage card at 18 grams. That's one beefy card. And last but not least, our Platinum, which I thought for sure would be heavier. Oh, but it dropped down to 17 grams. Almost had a tie there, but not quite. Okay, now that we've got the weight, let's pop in over here. Given the weight and the material, let's judge the style of these cards. First of all, they're all metal. Awesome. They're nice metal cards. The weight, Chase Sapphire, it's a lightweight metal card. It's a low-end card. It's a nice card, but it's not the wow weight factor. American Express Platinum and Citi, man, they are almost dead heat. You saw that scale just drop back to only 17 grams for the American Platinum after hitting 18 to match it with the Executive. They feel the same to me. They're cool, beefy cards. If you care about style and any sort of vanity, they get noticed in a restaurant, period. The Delta Reserve card, it's lighter weight. It's the same weight as the Chase Sapphire, but because it's made from aircraft aluminum, we edge it out a little bit on weight because it's got an excuse to be light. Design, Chase Sapphire, Citi Executive, one design. They look nice, but they lose coolness factors because you don't have choices. American Express Platinum, you have choices. You have choice between the standard, which I have, and some really colorful cards that they've made up. I'm not a fan personally of the color, but I love the choices. The Delta Reserve, when you have a card made out of aircraft aluminum, jet black like it is with the stats of the aircraft, as an alternative, you have a white one for an alternative, or the purple one, why you would get purple, who knows. But it just wins out on design and overall on style. It is hands down the winner because it is so cool being made from the aircraft aluminum. I know this is subjective. You can disagree, put your comments in there, but I'm right. Okay. So with the style in place, with the clear winner of the Delta Reserve, let's plug these numbers in here. Look at the overall ratings. Uh, Chase Sapphire, solid point card, not so great on the perks, here on the lounges. American Express, three across the board. It's got great point value, great perks, great lounge access, period. Delta Reserve, it's okay on the points. Again, these are Delta points, but it does a pretty good job of getting that and getting you along the way to status. Same way with the Citi Executive. They're okay points. They get you points, but they're on American. I think the Delta edges out a little bit because of the point it's getting you to status. Perks, Delta Reserve, it's got some okay perks. You know, you got the hotel and you got the airline perks. Lounges, not too bad. It gets you Delta Reserve or Delta Sky lounges and the American Express lounges. Citi is only going to get you the perks on American. They're not that great, and it only gets you the lounges. We'll see if I keep this card, but this is kind of how they stack out, in my opinion. But this isn't about which card is the best. Let's talk about portfolio. So as you can see, I have a probably too many cards, but I've got the collection. I like them. They work well for me. They make basically a portfolio of cards that I use for travel to keep the bonuses, perks, and let's face it, the sucking up that I like from the airlines to get me the lounge access, the priority access, and the comfy seats. This is why I have them. They do pretty well at that, and I enjoy travel more with using the perks these cards provide. I hope you find this interesting, and until next time, I'll hopefully see you traveling out there somewhere. Take care. Bye.